Hello, juicers. Well, I apologize for not uploading some videos for the last week. I probably should have thought about starting this at a different time and having it not coincide with our big sale. So I apologize for that. So this video is going to combine two videos together. I have a lot of information to cover for you, and that way it will be out there. So I just wanted to pop in and see how you were doing and see if any of you had joined me for the juice fast. I actually I ended my juice fast today with salads, and that's simply because I needed more calories to sustain me through these long days as we're in production creating product for the sale. I'm also doing a challenge, it's a squat challenge. A friend of mine is doing it for charity, and squats take a lot out of you, especially when you're doing 100 a day. So if you remember back, I told you that if you're going to do juice fasting, you really don't want to do a lot of heavy exercising. So I should probably listen to my own advice. So that doesn't mean that I am not still drinking juice. I'm still drinking juice because I find, especially at times where you're a little bit stressed, and certainly a big sale can be stressful, it really, really gives me the mental clarity to kind of go through and to problem solve. So a couple things. I wanted to share with you some results. By day 2, and I think I wrote this up on the wall, your bloating has completely gone down. It's almost like a balloon that is deflated. It's such an incredible feeling. And then, of course, by day 3, you just feel like you're doing cartwheels. So that's something that you can definitely look forward to. I also talked to you early on in this course about making a list of things that make you happy. Well, I created here, let's see if you can see it. I call it my body love list. And basically, what I have here is the days of the week. And then across here, I have little things that make me happy. Saying my mantras, drinking my water, taking my supplements, dry brushing, doing my fascia blasting, did it sauna, exercise, fresh air, tapping, the whole body vibration machine. Did I get my 8 hours of sleep? Did I pay it forward? Did I write my journal? And did I express love? That's what's important to me. So what I do is I make a list and then I just check it off. It's a nice way to see how you're doing. I'm a visual person and I'm a list person. So that really, really helps, especially when you're going through this process. So I encourage you to make one as well with what resonates with you to help you along on this journey. Something else I want to address too. When you're doing a fast, it doesn't have to be, I said this early on, it doesn't have to be a 60-day fast or a 30-day fast or a 1-day fast, or a 7-day fast. You can simply fast on Sundays or on Mondays. Don't think that you have to do a big amount of days to be successful. And also, just as long as you're drinking juice every day, that's a success. So don't measure yourself up to anybody else as far as what don't compare yourself to anybody else as far as the juice goes. And for some of you that are taking this course or not ready to start, pat yourself on the back because you're getting the information, and that is the most important thing. And I wrote this to Natalie when she said she didn't have time and things have come up. Don't beat yourself up over that, Natalie, or anybody else in the group. I listened to this information from other people for a long time before I actually dove in with my first fast. Because when you first hear it, you're just like, I don't know if I can do that. And it takes a while. So that's why I shared with you the resources that I did as far as the documentaries and the books. And I'm going to share some more books with you today to really, really read and follow up, because it'll be there at the back of your brain. And then when you are ready, you can just kind of flip a switch and you'll be ready to do it. So I congratulate you for getting this far. If you watched all the videos and you're just marinating on the information, that is a great start. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about what happens after a fast. Well, where do you go? Remember earlier on I said write the reason why you're doing a fast. And for me, it is always to get off of sugar. Because sugar is very addictive. I don't have to tell you that. And when you start eating sugar, it's so addictive that it's hard to stop. So I notice always after the holidays, I've always put on a little bit of weight, and I need to break that craving. So by juicing for even 3 days, you get the taste out of your mouth. But then where do you go once you come back on? Because you know as well as I do, if you've lost any weight on any diet, if you go back to eating the way that you did, you're going to gain the weight right back. And with fasting, it's absolutely no different. But I'm going to share with you a book This is by Dr. Joel Fuhrman, and it's called Eat to Live. And this was the doctor that Joe Cross had in his documentaries. And this is one of the best books I've ever read about diet. And diet, to kind of take the, take the sting out of the word diet, because I think every woman hates the word diet. Diet simply means the way that you eat. So, there's different ways that people eat, and it works for them. And that's why I'll never tell you, you have to do this, you have to switch to this, you have to do this. Listen, whatever works for you, and that's going to be different for different people. But this is a great way to start. Eat to Live by Dr. Joel Fuhrman. Highly recommend it. It just makes sense. It's not a fad diet. It's not a gimmicky diet. It just totally makes sense. Now, another book I want to share with you is Joe Cross's book, The Reboot with Joe Juice Diet. And he has a lot of fabulous recipes in here. Really, really good recipes if you're into that. Like I said earlier, I'm not so much of a chef, so give me one recipe and let's call it a day. But if you really want to dive into what every single vegetable does, how it works for the body, if you have a particular disease that you're struggling with, this is the book that you probably want to get. Just FYI, all the information is also on his website. But some people are just a book people, and that's I am. I need to hold something physical in my hand and highlight it and dog ear it. So that's a great way to start. And I think I shared with you that I actually attended one of Joe Cross's, one of his seminars when he was up at the Omega Institute in New York. I was there for a week, and he had a lot of guest speakers come and talk, and it was very, very inspiring. And one of the people that spoke his name is Mark David. And this book is called The Slow Down Diet. And it's really not, it's not a diet at all. It's not recipes or anything like that. It's just about wrapping your brain around slowing down, slowing your life down, basically, to enjoy food. Out of all the talks that I listened to up at Omega, he was my favorite. So I recommend that book. I'll hold it up again here. The Slow Down Diet, Eating for Pleasure, Energy, and Weight Loss. So these books are all available used on Amazon, so I highly recommend that you get them. And then finally, this book here, The Tapping Solution by Jessica Ortner. You heard me speak earlier on one of the videos that one of the tools that I use, or that I used a lot previously when I lost the first 50 pounds, is tapping. And I don't know if you caught that or you know what tapping is, but tapping is basically a way that you break up the impulsive thoughts in your head. I'm not a scientist, I can't explain how it works, but this woman, Jessica Ortner, and her brother, really, they cornered the market on tapping. And I took her course. It's an 8-week course by the same name, The Tapping Solution for Weight Loss and Body Confidence. I highly recommend it. You can find her on Facebook by that same name. And she teaches you what it is, how it works, when to use it. And then I downloaded all of the tapping scripts on my phone. So in the morning, I used to do this every single day. I don't need it as much now, but every single day I would do the tapping script based on what was coming up for me, what feelings were coming up. So for example, if I was feeling anxious about exercising, or I was feeling sorry for myself that I couldn't have sugar when everyone else was, or if I felt like I was in a prison, which are all these feelings that come up when you're changing your diet, I tapped them out. And I have to say that tapping not only works for the anxiety that you have with weight loss, but tapping works for anything. Tapping works for pain management, other kind of phobias and anxieties. So I highly recommend that you, if weight loss is your goal, obviously, to join her private Facebook group, or actually I think it's public, but I give her my seal of endorsement on the program. So those are the books that you're going to check into. I am going to make a bonus video for you guys. I feel like I owe it to you because I was kind of not here this week, on the supplements that I take, because I take a lot of supplements and it really doesn't have anything to do with juicing, but I feel that they're important, especially as we age. Ideally, all of your nutrients should come from food, from good food, but as you may or may not know, a lot of the soil, the mineral content in our soil has depleted so much that the food doesn't get as many minerals as it once did. I have books on that if you're interested. So it's important that you supplement. So I have some certain supplements that I take that I love, and I'm going to share a video with you. However, I'm going to give you this caveat. It's not going to be for a couple weeks to post it, because after our sale is on Saturday, and then it's crazy here for 2 weeks. So I will swing back around to post that video for you of the supplements that I take. I also want to give you another bonus video on, how do I say this? I think a lot of you, well, maybe you don't know this. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, all times, the food industry is there to make money. That's just what it's there for, is to make money. And a lot of things are added to our food that makes it addictive. A lot of chemicals that are added to the food. And I've read extensively on this, and it's kind of like one of those things when you read a lot, it's kind of scary. You go down a rabbit hole one night with your book, and before you know it, you come out the other end and you're like, wow, I did not know that. So a lot of times you may wonder why you are gaining weight or why you can't lose weight. And a lot of times you have no clue what it is. It's not, you could be eating something that you think is really good for you and it's not. So I want to give you an abbreviated version, or abbreviated edited lesson on things to look out for in your foods and in the things you eat and drink. It's very, very eye-opening, and I will share some resources with you if you want to take your education further. But be prepared to be kind of blown away like I was. So that will be coming again in 2 weeks. I'll load those videos up for you. But I will, just so you know, I will be, if you post in our private group, I do get pinged, and I will answer your questions in the evening once everyone's asleep, the family's asleep, and I'm kind of in bed answering everything. So I'm here for you, and I hope you're doing well, and I hope you learned a lot so far. You have certainly have enough tools now and knowledge to start your own juice fast. And I would love to hear your results. I'd love to hear your feedback on your own journey. So thank you very much, and have a great evening. And again, I will speak to you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.